Hello and welcome to this Price a Job tutorial. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Timber Beams module. To access the Timber Beams module, go to the module toolbar and select the Structural Members category and open the Timber Beams submenu, and then select Timber Beam and create the module. A timber beam is usually one or more members bolted or screwed together. To get started, simply input the quantity of beams that you will require and the length of each beam, in this case 8 meters per beam. Then we can take a look at the timber beam stage, where we have options of using either a single beam, double beams, or triple beams. And then we can select the drop-down menu and choose the dimensions required by our specifications. Price a Job automatically calculates the total length of beams required, as well as the cost, and estimated installation hours. If we think that the installation will be shorter or longer, we can override this value. Next, we'll take a look at the fixing stage. Here we have options to use either high tensile bolts, coach bolts, or a threaded bar. In each case, we can select from the drop-down menu to choose the materials that we wish to use. In this case, we'll choose an 80mm, and Price a Job lets us know that the bolt that we've chosen is too short. So we can go back to our drop-down menu and choose a more appropriate material. In this case, even the longest high tensile bolt is still too short. So we might take a look at coach bolts instead. Here under this materials menu, we can scroll down and try to find a longer bolt. And here's a 200mm, and Price a Job clears the error and lets us know that this bolt is sufficient for the task. If we were using threaded bars, again, we could choose the diameter specified by our structural engineer, and then we can specify the stud length. And Price a Job lets us know that the beam thickness is 141mm. So in this case, a stud length of 190 will be more than sufficient. Then we can specify the spacing. Based on this spacing of 750mm, Price a Job has calculated that we'll require 28 fixings. If we were to modify this spacing, say to 500mm, then Price a Job automatically will recalculate the quantity required to 38. As we've been making our changes, Price a Job has automatically been generating nicely written descriptions for the materials and labor. And we can add to these descriptions by adding a note here, or we can override the auto descriptions by deselecting auto and edit the automatic descriptions as necessary. However, while auto descriptions are deactivated, any changes we make to our stages will not be reflected in our automatic descriptions. In order to do so, we would have to reselect the auto description, in which case our changes are deleted. So in these cases, we can use the add note function or save our editing of the auto descriptions for last. And that's how to use the Timber Beam module. Thank you for using Price a Job.